Hey everybody, tonight we're going to work on this summation problem where we want to express the solution in terms of E. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this definition of E as an infinite sum. There's also a well-known limit sum for E, but it's just n equals 0 to infinity, and it's 1 over n factorial. Now, I've just written it this way. This may be a more familiar way of you guys seeing it, but I've written it here a little more explicitly because it's useful for this problem. E is equal to 1 over 0 factorial, which of course this is just 1. And right here, this is 1 also. And then you got 1/2, 1/6, 1/24, which is not really important for the purpose of this problem. Now, if you take a look at this definition here, it's a summation starting at 5, and it involves a floor function factorial. Now, let's go down and take a look at what this expression looks like. And again, I've just written it out very explicitly here. Here it is for you. And simplified right here, we get kind of a stray term. Notice they pair off in even and odd numerators with the same denominator. In this case, we have 3 factorial with the even number 6, odd number 7 numerator. And similarly for 8 and 9, 4 factorial, and then the even number 8 and the odd number 9. And we have this stray term. And so what I do is I write the stray term just in front, and then we note that we can break it apart into these odd numerator, even numerator and odd numerator components. And just by very basic algebra, you can add up 2j to 2j to get 4j. And we get this overall expression, okay? Now, let's see, did I forget? I probably forgot to put, let's see, the plus 5/2 right here. So this should still be plus 5/2. I left that out. Okay. So we got to basically do a little bit more work on the interior here than just add 5/2 to it and see what happens. Okay. And I've done that on the next few steps here for you. Okay. Done that on the next few steps. Now you'll notice that you can the 4 factors out of the summation. It's just the distributive property. And notice here though that we have 4 times some missing stuff, right? So you see, as we mentioned earlier, the missing terms are just 1 plus 1, right? And so this piece right here, let me just come down and write it down. It's really fairly straightforward. You'll have 5/2, our stray term at the beginning. It didn't pair up with anything. And this would be plus 4 times e minus 2. And you can just write this down by inspection. If you are familiar with that definition of E, that's 4 times E minus 2 because we're missing the terms 1. Okay, you see 1 is not present. The 1 over 0 factorial term, which is 1, and the 1 over 1 factorial term is not present, but all the rest of the terms starting at 2 factorial are present. And so that's why this is equal to 4 times E minus 2. And in a similar fashion right here, you will get, what are we missing now? We're missing 5/2. You would have, this would be E, let me just write it here. This would be E. There's an extra term past the 2, so this would be E, sorry, let me get this erased. I think I made a slight mistake here. Okay, this would be E, this part right here would be E minus 5/2. And where are we getting that? That's the 5/2 is 1 plus 1 plus 1/2. And again, folks, I'll just take you back up to here. See right here, we had the 1, and the 1 over 2 factorial term. 1 over 2 factorial is 1/2, okay? And so what does this end up being? It looks like the 5/2 terms cancel. We have a 4e minus 8 right here and a 4e plus e. So this looks like it's going to work out to 5e minus 8. Okay, and I think that's correct. I double checked. I worked it before this, did the video. So we get 5e minus 8. And that's the answer as far as I can tell. At least I've shown you the work if you can spot a mistake I may have made. But anyway, that's why I got 5e minus 8. thanks to, let's see here, Joshua Siktar. This is a Carnegie Mellon Institute, I guess, mathematic or something. I don't know what it is, but I know it's Carnegie Mellon in Chicago back in 2017, slightly modified. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of neat, a cool little problem. And you probably could work on this like if you wanted to do I/3. It would just be slightly more involved. You would have to group different here. You would have 3 groupings rather than 2 groupings, I think, for I/3 if you wanted to try it. So this is kind of a template for a whole host of problems. But anyway, let's go ahead and write down our solution here. This is equal to 5e minus 8. Okay. Good night.